Buddha means the one who is awake. And do you know that Buddha is not a god? He is a human being like us. He suffered like us, but he overcame and transformed his suffering and became a teacher. In this video, I'll tell you a story of a murderer who tried to kill Buddha. Once there was a person called Angulimala. He felt society was very unfair to him and he became very angry. He decided to kill 101 people and wear their thumbs like a garland around his neck. He hid in the jungle and killed people who crossed the forest to go to other places. He killed 100 people and needed just one more finger. Gautama Buddha came and people warned, Siddhartha, don't go. He was not someone who you could teach meditation. Buddha said, if I don't go, who else will go? Siddhartha walked towards the forest. Angulimala was sitting on a rock. He saw the monk coming. By now, he was enjoying that people were terrified of him. Just the mention of his name made people tremble. He was enjoying it. He thought, now the monk is here, he can fulfill his vow to kill 101 people. After walking for about 10 minutes, Buddha heard the sound of someone running after him. By hearing that sound, he knew it was Angulimala, who was running after him. But he was not fearful. He was very calm. Angulimala was very angry. There was a lot of violence and hate in him. He called out to Buddha, Hey, monk, stop! Buddha heard that, but didn't stop. He kept walking with a peaceful mind. Stop, monk, stop! Angulimala shouted again. But Buddha was quietly walking with a smile. Angulimala got angry and ran to the front of Buddha. Hey, I told you to stop, but you continue to walk. You don't know who I am? Why do you keep walking? Gautama, with a gentle voice, said, I stopped a long time ago, my friend. I have arrived where I want to go. You are the one who is trying to go somewhere. Angulimala laughed and said, I am standing still. You say I'm going? You kept walking, and you say you're not going. Buddha looked at him with a lot of compassion and addressed him with a gentle voice. Angulimala, on the path of destruction, violence, and hate, I have already stopped for a long time. I have taken the path of compassion, understanding, and service. You too should stop on your path of violence. You know, every living being wants to be alive. No one wants to die. You have to be compassionate to them. You have to allow them to live. When he heard that, Angulimala became very angry and said, All men and women are cruel, deceptive, and always lie. I hate them. I want to kill them all to satisfy my anger. Buddha replied, Angulimala, I know you're a victim. You were mistreated by people. They didn't understand you, and you suffered a lot. You met cruel, deceptive, and dishonest people. But you should not think all men and women are like that. Some people are understanding and compassionate. It's a pity you have not met such people. You have to change your direction. and take the path of compassion and understanding. Angulimala had never seen a person like Siddhartha. Everyone he met was terrified and ran away from him. But Buddha was not afraid and looked at him with a lot of compassion. Angulimala had never seen such a person. He felt the Buddha's compassion. Angulimala said, "Are you Buddha? Are you Siddhartha? I have heard of him. Are you him?" Buddha replied, "Yes, I am Siddhartha." Angulimala said, "Buddha, it is too late. It's too late for me to change. I have gone too far in this path. Even if I want to stop and turn into another direction, no one will allow me to give a chance to begin a new life." Buddha said, "If you really want to give up the path of violence and make the commitment of living the life of compassion, I will be your spiritual teacher. I will help you. I will protect you as your spiritual teacher." And when Angulimala heard that, he took out his knife and threw it on the floor. He kneeled before Buddha and said, "I will, Gautama. I really want to. I really want to stop. I really want to make the commitment to live the life of compassion and non-violence. Please do help me." From that day on, Angulimala became the most diligent monk of that community. He was really devoted. He received the teachings and put all his time and energy into the practice of transformation and healing. He was ready to receive the teachings and put it into practice with all his might. He was able to transform his anger and violence so quickly that it was like a miracle. All the other monks were surprised. One day, Buddha and Angulimala went to collect alms. When they were at the city gates, they saw the king making arrangements for a war. Buddha approached the king and asked, "My king, what happened? Are you going for a war?" The king greeted Buddha and said, "No, dear Buddha, there is an evil person in town. I am going to catch that person. His name is Angulimala." Buddha said, "My king, what would you do if you heard that Angulimala has renounced the path of violence and killing and embraced the path of compassion and understanding and repentance? What if he became a monk and there is a guarantee that he will never repeat the mistake or crime again?" The king replied, "Dear teacher, I don't think Angulimala would do that. He is a very, very evil person. He has a lot of hate, a lot of anger, and a lot of violence in him. He could not take the path of practice. I cannot imagine him becoming a monk like you." The king said, "If Angulimala really wants to embrace the path of compassion and make the vow of non-violence, then not only will I not kill him or put him into jail, but I will offer him food, shelter, and medicines too." Buddha said, "Then, Your Majesty, meet Angulimala." He pointed at him. Everyone was surprised and scared, but Buddha said, "There is no danger, Your Majesty. He is very gentle now. He has embraced a new path. With our help, he has taken the vow to renounce the path of violence, and his name now is Ahimsaka. If Your Majesty hears that, would you still think he should be put in prison? Or would you give him a chance to practice compassion and transform himself. The king stepped up and talked to Angulimala. Angulimala responded very gently and answered every question that the king asked very respectfully. The king looked at Buddha with great admiration and said, "Dear teacher, what we cannot do, even with a mighty army, you have done. You don't have any weapons, any army, any political powers, and yet you have changed an evil person into a compassionate one." Dear viewers, the king had every reason to punish Angulimala for his past crimes, but instead he chose to give him a chance to transform himself and live a life of compassion and non-violence. This act of mercy not only saved Angulimala's life but also helped him become a better person. It is a reminder that we should not be quick to judge others based on their past actions, but rather give them a chance to change and make amends. The story of Angulimala teaches us that even those consumed by anger and violence can find redemption and inner peace through understanding, compassion, and a sincere pursuit of enlightenment. It is never too late to change one's ways and embrace a new path. Forgiveness and compassion can help heal wounds and transform lives, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Let us all strive to be like the King and the Buddha and show kindness and compassion to those who need it the most.